Hi guys, I am Danae Rudy of Rudy Horsemanship, and well, that's my chestnut colt. Here she is. This is Pangea. She is half Lusitano, half thoroughbred, and she's about 10 months old in this video. So I'm getting her started on some desensitization, and usually my first go-to is to have them follow the scary thing, and that goes for any age. This could be for an older horse. But she was being kind of sticky right there and didn't really want to lead up. And the last thing I want to do is to teach a young horse to pull back. So I changed it up. You can see I rolled up my flag. And that section right there, when she pulls back from me, I want you guys, you might have to stop and rewind that a couple times and watch. My body language as I approach her, I follow her and I keep up with her, but I don't chase her. That's something that people have a hard time sorting out their body language to make sure that if a horse does run sideways away from them during desensitization, that you can keep up with them, but in a way that your body language is very quiet and that you're not causing them to feel more pressure and to run off. So here she's standing still, but if you can see, she's on guard. Her feet are kind of splayed out. She's ready to move. There I took it way in front of her and she dodged her head like it was coming at her. Really, it wasn't that it was close to her head, it was just that she saw it coming out of both eyes. So just that little bit, she's already starting to follow a little better. I love the following because it builds some curiosity. That's what I really want to see, is that when I bring out a flag or a tarp or a ball, I want to see them go, ooh, what's that? And want to follow it around, want to be curious. That colt's such a pest the whole time. So if Shelly's bobbing around with the camera, you know why, because he's pretty much chewing on her this entire video. So yeah, I never want to teach babies to pull back. Once a horse learns that they can pull back and either get loose or just plant their feet, man, you don't want them to ever learn that. So I try to lead her forward when I can, but if it's obvious that it's not going to work, I try something else. So here we are on the other eye. Most horses struggle in the right eye, and she's definitely struggling here. She's like, why is that thing there? I don't like it. So she's okay with it now out in front of her. She was okay with it near her left shoulder, but I'm approaching her right shoulder, and she's not crazy about it. Again, watch my body language. I stay with her. I have the rope lifted and I'm drawing her nose to my right so that way I can keep the flag in her right eye. But I'm just keeping that flag very steady in that spot. So that spot there that's like, was like 2 feet out from her eye. I just kind of kept the flag in that spot no matter where she went. So it was really consistent. So there it was the flag going away and coming at her that scared her, so I'm going back to that. She's already figured out that once it touches her, that like, oh, that's the easy spot. And now I'm petting on her, so it's like, look, I can pet you with the flag, I can pet you with my hand. She's bred to be pretty quiet-minded and a pretty easygoing girl, so this isn't going to be terribly difficult for her. But she is a youngster, so all of this is going to be a little more difficult for one this young than it would be for an older horse. But at the same time, when you get started this young, oh my goodness, these horses become so steadfast when they're used to seeing things this young. So again, there you can see when I cross the flag from one side to the other, that really gets her. She's not too sure about that. So already, because this filly likes to plant her feet, I'm already starting to get her to move her shoulders a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily do that with all of them right away, but I really don't like to desensitize at a standstill. A lot of horses tend to just freeze, and they may look okay on the outside, but they're not necessarily okay on the inside. If they are okay on the inside, sometimes people get their horses so desensitized and so dull that that flag means nothing to them, and then you can't move them off of you. So I can see where this filly would get that way because she is such a quiet-minded little horse. So I'm already starting to use that flag to say, move your shoulders a couple steps to your left, move your shoulders a couple steps to your right. So you can see there I draw across with the nose, and then I rub that shoulder a little bit. And if you take notice my positioning, I am standing on her left initially as I move my hand out to my right and then push her across with the flag. So here I move to the left, to my left, with my hand open to the left to get her to step across to my left. I know lefts and rights get really confusing here because my left and right and the horse's left and right are opposite. So I'll talk about my left and rights. That way when you're doing it, it'll be, to you. So if I want the horse to step to my right, if anything, I'm going to step to my right. If I'm going to move the horse to my left, I'll step to my left. People consistently want to do that wrong because they want to like come over and tap the shoulder. So here, I'm going to step to my right. If anything, I'm already on the right. And I'm going to use that. Oh, see, there I come. I step to the right. And that way I can get her really swing her shoulders across to my right. This is where a lot of people get stuck, is that instead of going to the right, they would stay to the left, meaning the horse's right side, and then try to tap the horse's right shoulder. But that's then you're in the wrong position and you're not going to get it. The horse is just going to shoot forward or back up because where you have the lead rope, they can't move away from you. You still have their lead rope. So whenever you're asking the shoulders to yield, really watch which direction you're walking. That is the number one common mistake when learning to send the shoulders. So here I'm going back to the desensitization, just rubbing on her. Once I got her feet to easily move, then I went back to just, rubby. And again, she had issues when that flag crossed from one eye to the other. So that's what I'm working on now. I want to help horses build left eye, right eye coordination skills. This is a life skill that's really important. Horses see completely different fields of vision in their left eye and their right eye, and the left and right hemispheres of their brain are very loosely attached. So you can teach a horse something on one side, and it doesn't mean they know it at all on the other side. So getting horses to bend evenly both directions has a lot to do with getting them confident in both eyes. So what I'm doing now is going to teach her to bend evenly both ways. So again, I'm going to start getting her to move her feet a little bit because she is the type to get stuck. If she was dragging me all over this arena, then I wouldn't be working on this so much. I'd just let her move her feet naturally while I desensitize. So here I want her to just step forward and kind of circle around me to my right a little bit. And she is a baby, so there. So if she does anything that looks correct at all, I'm going to take it. So, and with most horses, but especially with a baby, I'm not going to really heat up on them. As long as she's not kicking me, not running into my space. Don't get me wrong, I would give her a hard whack if she tried to come into my space hard or kick at me or, do something aggressive. But as long as she's just sort of standing there staring at me, not knowing what to do, or like there she backed up, there she's putting her shoulder towards me, not aggressively, but just going the wrong direction. When she does that kind of stuff, I'm just going to wait it out. So I'd gotten in a position there where I couldn't really get the shoulder yield because the fence was there. So I was like, never mind. And I just sent her back the other direction just to get a win. There we go. So as soon as she goes the right direction, I get really quiet in my body language. And she is just a youngster. I don't want her to be like lunging around me. That's not the idea. The idea is just that she understands how to yield to the pressure, that I can move her shoulder a little bit and then send her forward. So if you see when I started, it was just, hey, this is my flag. It's not going to kill you. Then it was, hey, this is my flag. Can you move your shoulder to the left and to the right by me using my lead rope and my flag? And now I'm saying, hey, can you move your shoulder and then go forward in a little circle around me? So we're just taking this truly baby step by baby step at a time. And there she made a huge breakthrough that when I asked her to go forward, she really got it. And here you can tell she's already starting to understand a little bit more. Obviously far from perfect, but we're just wanting that little teeny tiny bit of understanding. Here she's mentally stuck. She's not quite sure what the answer is. Oh, she's thinking. There, and my body language softens. The second she does the right thing, my body language is just totally going to soften. There's a little hindquarter yield. She was set up for it, so I went ahead and asked and took it. That's a great setup for a shoulder yield right there. If you saw, I was way off to my right and asking her shoulders to come across, so I got a real big shoulder yield. So this is going to start to look like the full circle exercise, where you'd get a big shoulder yield, send the horse out onto a circle, have them get united on the circle, and then you ask them to yield their hips, rock back, yield the shoulders, change directions, and circle the other way. But for right now, we're literally just getting one step at a time and making sure that she's comfortable with my flag. So as soon as I get her feet moving, I go back to just this real simple, desensitization. And if she starts to get stuck, then I'm like, move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. So I don't want her getting stuck. So if she starts to get stuck, I'm going to move her. And if she gets to where she's just moving, then I'm going to go back to, just a little bit of desensitization. And she's a baby, so lots of scratches. And there you go, guys. That is pretty much the whole session. I don't think I have any more than this. I think I'm pretty much just rubbing on her for the last 40 seconds. So that is the whole session I do with the baby. It's about 12 minutes long, and that was the whole thing. And we do lots of, I still love you, right? And so you can do more with that with your big horse, but truly that's what we're looking for. All right, I hope that was a benefit to you guys. If you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook or whatever, and I'll see you in the arena.